I've been working here since 1973. Started it off with the Texas Instrument and 28th of August, so it's coming down to 49 years next month. So I started as a technician in the photolith area, and there used to be about 2,500 people here when I started.
I started to work for Texas Instrument in April 1977. Still now work as a process operator. So my job hasn't changed, and I worked in the same area for 40 years, and I also work in diffusion area where I had 5 years experience of in diffusion.
I actually started with TI and I came for a part-time job. Got the job, but when my contract came it was for a full-time position. Obviously I took the full-time job, it was on 2 to 10, so I've worked 2 to 10. I've been here for 34 and a half years, and I've worked 2 to 10 all that time.
I work as a quality engineer, and I've worked at Bourns since November 1988. I worked for 28 years on night shift, still in the quality role, inspection role, and then as my family left uni, no longer needed the night shift, so moved over to day shift, which I'm doing now.
First started work in this building in 1989 for Texas Instruments, and prior to that I was an apprentice at REE Bedford. Then I came here as an equipment engineer in 1989.
I started here in September 1988 as a 16-year-old, doing a pipe fitting apprenticeship with Texas Instruments. I worked in the facilities department for the first 3 years of my apprenticeship. Then I moved over to the plant maintenance side of the Texas Instruments department, which is maintaining the whole site as opposed to installation work, up until TI pulled out and we got bought out by Power Innovations by a management buyout. And I've been in the same department since day one. I'm now responsible for services supplied to the fab, wafer fab, any new installation works.
I've been here 25 years next month. Came straight from school, started as an apprentice, worked in every department until I got an understanding of how each little bit works and where I wanted to focus. I then started as a probe technician, which is essentially testing our products in-house. And I stayed doing that for 18, 19 years. And then I moved on to the same department as Ian, so I'm a test engineer as well.
I joined the company when it was Texas Instruments in 1979 on the 5th of November as a young adult. I started off in the quality assurance department as a quality and reliability technician. In all, I've been with the company from Texas Instruments to Bourns, which acquired the company in May 2000, 42 years.
We make a lot of different silicon chips, but one of them I can give you an example where if you have a starter in a tube light, where you got a round switch which goes in the tube light, we make those starters as well, which then allows the tube light not to flick and it comes on and off straight away, so that saves electricity.
In Bourns, they started from making trim pots, which are little variable resistors that went into early transistor radios and things like that. But these little variable resistors were unique in that they're so much smaller than what went before. You know, it was a big potential, and one of their products they make at the moment is you've got an electric guitar. All the knobs on the electrical guitar are the high-end instruments are Bourns pots.
Today, Bourns are into circuit protection, so we sell component devices that can protect automotive type equipment, so anything that is electrical in a car. We do battery protection for the car. We also sell parts for industrial and commercial, so for instance every Dyson battery held Hoover has 3 of our chips in to protect the battery.
So my first impression was, wow, when I got the interview, wow. And then And I was expecting, it wasn't quite what I expected, because I expected a high-tech digital company. You know, like you see in telly where everyone's standing at the machine and all they do is pressing buttons. And that's what I expected. I didn't realise it'd be so manual.
I've been here a few times as a kid when they had open days, but you know, it's like a different world from school to this ginormous place with 1,800 people working here. And we also looked after the west site over the road, which is now the Highways Agency. That was the Texas Instruments West Site building. So they had this site here, then we used to go over the road to that site over there. So there's probably another 400 people in that site of the road. And there's another building behind it called A Block, where it was a storage site. We looked after that as well. It's all part of the TI group, if you like. So yeah, it was amazing.
With Texas Instruments, I've been to, for the design work, used to travel probably once every 2 months or so to Freisen in Germany, which is New Munich, and also to Dallas in the US as part of Texas Instruments. My last travel actually was for the assembly side was Costa Rica, and that was only this year. But prior to them, for the design work, was actually in Hangzhou in China. So I've been there 2 or 3 times now as well.
I suppose when I started here, my training officer at the time said quite clearly, you know, you've got a job at Texas Instruments. If you get a job at Texas Instruments in Bedford, then you're set for life from that point on, because absolutely everyone in Bedford knows Texas Instruments.
My son is adopted, and we didn't have an adoption policy, and I created that adoption policy, so I'm quite proud of that.
Daniel's come in, and he's actually on a manufacturing lines. Quite of the times he comes in, he talks to the people, he listens their issues, you know, on the improvements, right, and he acts on it. And he's down to earth, right, to talk to.
3 teams now that have won the award for the continuous improvement project, the Six Sigma projects here. Probably those 3. Probably the best one is probably the one that we saved about $200,000 per year in terms of, you know, reducing the amount of scrap, which is continuous from now on, and actually presented that project at Warwick University.
We're a family, you know, or we like to try to think that we're a family. And we spend a lot of time here. So it's a case of, well, I'll get on with you, or I'll try my best to get on with you.
2/3 of our office are in a bake club, so that we can bake on a regular basis. We need to make sure that our cholesterol level is kept high.
When I started to work on Probe, I had a few Italian ladies who were working there, and it was quite interesting, because that's where I learned how to eat and make pizza.
As I started, there was quite a high, an Italian population in the area, and they, I suppose, have, you know, without really noticing, they've gone, then we've gone. I suppose we have more Eastern Europeans now.
Over my time, we've had the different Asian communities, so you've had the Muslims and the Sikhs and all that. And yeah, now we've got Eastern European people here. So yeah, it's good. So you get to learn different cultures, their different. Religion was always a big thing, because it was like everybody believed something else, so that was always a nice conversation to have.
With all the training and the experience I've gained, I've become more of a coach and a mentor now as well, and I'm actually coordinating continuous improvement here since I've got the black belt business improvement techniques. So becoming more of a coach now and trying to mentor people and doing that, and obviously with a new graduate coming in and doing that.
It was good. It was nice. You got to be moved around, and even now. Even as the cell leader, if they need help in another department, I would, and I've got that skill, then I would say, "Oh, I'll give you a hand," you know, and that's how we roll, really.
I went on a football tour with TI back in 1990. We had an inter-department competition between the facilities department and the power department with Brian Yates and all the guys, and they absolutely battered us football-wise. We lost, but on the strength of that, a few of us got picked and asked if we wanted to go to Germany to represent TI Bedford in an inter-Europe football tournament. So there's TI Bedford, there's Germany, Italy, France and Portugal. And we all went to Germany and played this tournament, and that was just amazing. It was such great time. Yeah.
We had a social club which used to arrange day trips to the theatre, theme parks. There were social evenings, but yeah, it was good. We've got a goal. I think the only club that's still going is the badminton club from the TI days. It's got different members now, obviously, but it's still going as far as I'm aware.
There used to be social clubs, and we also, actually joined the football team here. I think I played a bit of tennis, and also we played golf, and we used to go out in the evening for meals, etc.
I started in 73. Pippin started in 77.
Yes.
And we known each other. We personally know each other right outside as well. Pippin does a little bit social work right for the community as well, and I know him through that as well.
TI was pulling out, and it was the management buyout became Power Innovations, and it was a great company to work for. There was lots of people. They'd got an awful lot of experience. So you had any issues or anything, there was always someone you could ask. It did start to get a little bit stretched, because obviously as a small company, trying to manufacture in this country was difficult. Then Bourns stepped in, and at the point that Bourns stepped in, we went through bad periods like any company does, but with the investment we've had, we continue to manufacture in this country, which is quite an impressive feat, realistically. We've just gone from strength to strength, really. You can see that by the long service of some of the people that are here. I've only been here 25 years, which isn't really that long in comparison to some. Still remember the day that it was announced that Power Innovations had been bought, because everyone's working, and we all got told we had to stop and go into the conference room next door. And that's never good news, is it? There's never a time where absolutely everyone has to meet at the same time, because we're getting, you're all going to get something great, like fired. But no, we sat in the room, and yeah, it did turn out to be great, because essentially what we were told was that, the management team that bought out to become Power Innovations, had grown to a point that they needed money, because the equipment we use is multi-million dollars for each piece. So you can't maintain without investment. And Bourns were there with the checkbook. And they keep signing checks. So we keep buying new shiny things.
I'd like an aeroplane with one of those things. There's flags hanging on it saying happy 75th anniversary.
We've got our 75th party coming up later this year, and trying to work out how to get everybody able to go when you've got a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week process is proving quite complicated.
I like to say two things. The company's aim is to become double in 5 years, so I wish they will do that. And also this year the company wants to become a $1 billion company, and I hope and I wish them they will definitely do it, and we want to be part of it.